Ramirez, and I'm going to share my screen with you so we can start our presentation. Today we are learning about size and texture. So we're going to be observing properties of objects including bigger and smaller and texture. And hopefully by the end of this program, you will be able to answer these two questions. The first question is, what are two words to describe size? And the second question is, what are two words to describe texture, how something can feel? So before we begin, let's look at a couple little video clips. The first is of a black dog and a brown dog. So which dog is bigger and which dog is softer? So we're talking about size and texture. Hopefully you guys said that the bigger dog is the black dog, and he also looks like he's probably going to be the softer one because he has longer fur. And the smaller dog would be that little brown dog who's chasing his tail. Now let's look at this other video. We have a gray dog and a white dog. Which dog is smaller? So I changed the question on you. So which of these dogs is smaller? And hopefully you guys said that little white dog is the smaller one. He's trying to defend his food from that bigger gray dog. Now, speaking of size, a scientist can use science tools like a ruler to help determine size, and we can also use our eyes to help us determine size. So let's take a look at these pictures here. We have three animals. We have a giraffe, a big bird called an ostrich, and then we have a person. So which animal do you think is the biggest just by looking at our picture? And hopefully you said the biggest animal of these three would be the giraffe. And hopefully you guys will get to go to the zoo one day and see those giant giraffes. They can be up to 18 feet tall. So the giraffe is the biggest animal in this picture. Then we have our person, which is pretty big. We have an ostrich, which is bigger than a person. And then of course the giraffe is the biggest. Now, as we grow, we oftentimes get taller and bigger. So here's a cute little puppy, and you can see how that puppy gets bigger as he grows. Now let's talk about texture. Texture is how something feels when we touch it with our hands. Now we can use our hands to determine texture, but we can also use our eyes to help us determine texture too. So I know you guys can't feel these animals, so we're going to be using our eyes to help us learn about texture. So I'm going to have 4 texture words, and you guys are going to try and guess which animal has that texture. So we have animal number 1, animals 2, animal 3, and animal 4. So which animal do you think has a bumpy texture? So use your eyes. What clues might let you know which animal is bumpy? And hopefully you guys said it's animal number 1, the toad. And I know that this animal's probably bumpy. Look at the skin. You can see these raised bumps or spots on the skin of that toad. Our next word is smooth and moist. Moist means it's kind of wet. So which animal do you think might be smooth and moist? Go ahead and make your guess. And hopefully you guys said it's the frog, number 4. And the big clue for the frog, look at his face. It looks kind of shiny, like it might have some water on it. So the frog is definitely smooth and moist, just a little wet. Our next word is soft and furry. So which animals do you think might be soft and furry if you were to touch them? This one's probably super easy because there's lots of things that are furry. We have our super fluffy cat, and one of the softest animals you will ever touch. It is a chinchilla. Those are both soft and furry. And the last word is spiky. So which of these animals is spiky? This is super easy because it's the last one that we have. Hopefully you guys said animal number 3, and that is a porcupine. So the porcupine is definitely not soft or furry. It has special hairs that are actually spiky or pointy at the ends. You probably don't want to touch the porcupine, but he does have a cute little face. So texture is just how something feels when you touch it. And I actually have a scavenger hunt challenge for y'all. I would like for y'all to go outside and find 5 nature items Describe their texture. So how do they feel? Also sort those items from the smallest to the biggest. So that's your scavenger hunt challenge for the week. I'm gonna go ahead and stop my screen share, and I actually have a special animal friend to show you guys today. I'm gonna give you some clues so you can guess while I pull her out. This animal has 2 legs, a beak, she has wings, her body is covered in soft feathers, and my biggest clue, she lays eggs that you guys probably eat. So go ahead and make your guess what animal this is. Shout it out and I'll go pull her out. If you've watched our videos before, you've probably met her. This is Pepper, the blue silky chicken. And she gets that name because she has patches of blue skin around her face and ears. Now her texture, I know y'all can't touch her, but how do you think she feels? So she actually feels really soft like silk. Even though she has feathers, she's super soft like a dog or a cat. And her size, she is smaller than me. So y'all can tell that I am much bigger than Pepper the chicken here. I'm gonna go ahead and put Pepper chicken down. And Pepper the chicken actually laid an egg. So here's one of her eggs. How do you think this might feel? The shell's kind of hard. And I have another egg. This belongs to the ostrich. Remember that big bird I showed you on the slide? So which one is bigger, the chicken egg or the ostrich egg? And that should be super easy. It's of course the ostrich egg. It is almost the size of my head. So can you guys imagine an egg that big? So here's a little trivia question. The ostrich egg can weigh up to 3 pounds. So how many chicken yolks, so inside this egg is a yellow yolk, how many chicken yolks do you think can fit inside this egg? Go ahead and give me a number, give me a guess. How many chicken eggs can fit in one of these? And if you guys said 24, you would be correct. So one ostrich egg is about 24 chicken yolks. That's a lot of omelets or scrambled eggs that you can make from the ostrich egg. And we can also use our special tool like the ruler to measure the ostrich egg, and it's about 6 inches tall. We can also use blocks to help us count, and it's about 8 blocks tall. And I also have some other special eggs from other birds. Take a look at these eggs. Which egg is the smallest and which egg is the biggest? And you can point at the screen, or a teacher might want to have a student come up to the screen and point. We're looking for the smallest egg and the biggest egg. And I'll give you a hint. The smallest egg is somewhere around the middle of your screen, and it belongs to a bird that we actually have here at the Environmental Center, and it belongs to the tiny hummingbird. Now, the largest egg is probably going to be the black egg that you see right here, and that belongs to a bird called a common loon. It's sort of like a duck, but not quite a duck. So you can see that eggs come in all sorts of colors and sizes. Well, that's all I have for you guys today on sizes and texture, how things feel.